went through like probably the hardest time of my year, or the hardest part of my 4 years. I didn't have a job. Man, that post-graduation life just hits you, and it hits you hard. I'm gonna read this letter that I wrote to myself last year. I wrote this last year, and it says, okay, Itago, it's exactly 1 year now since we last worked together. Today I'm partially anxious about how the next 6 months will be. Graduation is around the corner, and I'm nowhere close to getting something to do after May 17th. But I think the reassurance comes from knowing that I am a child of God, and that He ain't surprised I'm graduating. No matter what you're doing now, never forget who God is, the kind of love He has showed you, and how far He has brought you. Nothing you have achieved in life thus far is by your own strength. Remember the book Captivating, which is a book I was reading at my crossroads point. Captivating, keep reading it from time to time. There's always a lesson for every season. You may have a totally bad job, God forbid, overwhelmed by grad school apps, make a lot of money but have no life. But remember to serve God and maintain integrity to yourself through it all. Now, if you're in Latin America, okay, so at some point I really believed I was going to go to Latin America. So yeah, but that didn't pan out. Now, if you're in Latin America, por favor, no te preocupas sobre las cosas minúsculas de las vidas. Hay tanto que te traigas amor y felicidad así. Disfruta. I don't know what I wrote here. En estos cosas. If you're working for a Fortune 500 company or mainstream sector, remember you're here for the skills. If you're still not doing something you love, do not forget the plans that God has for you. Jeremiah 29:11. Cliche but true. Itago, the world is yours to savor. So travel, care, organize, have conversations on global and institutionalized systems of oppression. Dare to dream, ask questions, and never let anyone or anything or any situation put you down. At 24, I'm 24 right now. If your relationship is not going anywhere, please join the singles team. And I did in June. It's not that bad. Take your journal and make a 1 to 2 year plan, then give it to God. Also, take time to see what you have achieved. You are a bomb-ass achiever. You're a queen. You're a daughter of Zion. Treat yourself to the spa. I don't have that money right now, though. In conclusion, thank you. In conclusion, remember that the 20s are for taking chances and for mistakes. So when you fall, please forgive yourself. Learn from the mistakes and move on. Surround yourself with people you want to learn from. Seek mentorships and build relationships, because things come and go, but meaningful people will always stay. Remember, as I'm writing this, you, the 24-year-old, knows that this is what you needed to hear. And I, the 23-year-old, I'm proud of you. I hope you get to. I listed some things that I wanted to do, and you still can drive, and you can drive and still love God even more deeply. This came like just recently, but then just seeing that and seeing my journey till now, like, I needed to hear that. It's almost like I saw into the future last year, and I don't know, God just works in mysterious ways. You never know, honestly. So never doubt God. If you're in a relationship with God, never doubt Him. He knows what He's doing. The expectations that I had, and kind of me pleading to myself not to let the things that are going to happen in my life weigh me down. I know people's realities are different, and I recognize my privilege, as I've said, that in that I have a family here. So you might be going through transitions, and yeah, give me 5 minutes, I'm almost done. Yeah, you might be going through transitions and you're just like, oh my gosh, maybe you have like college loans to pay, and you don't have like a strong support system. I understand that. And I also realized that sometimes when it gets to this holiday season, which is like Christmas, it gets really isolating, and you're just like going through stuff and you're just like, why can nobody see me? I'm here to tell you, I see you, and I hear you, okay? Just hang in there, honestly, just hang in there. I'll give you like some tips before getting through transition period. First, number one is you find something that you believe and hold on to that. So I am Christian, and in as much as sometimes people are like, oh, blah blah blah, is God even real? I have been through that point where I was questioning the reality of God, and He's been so real to me over the past couple of months, actually over just the past year, as I started being more intentional about my relationship with God and getting to know Him. He's been so real. Having God as like my main thing, literally, it helped me so much. There were times where I just like cry, I've become such an emotional person. I mean, I think I've always been an emotional person. I just never let myself experience those emotions. So I just like sit and cry out to God. I'm like, I don't know what you're doing with my life. I need you to show that you're actually doing something. Otherwise, I don't know about this faith thing. I'd rather just stay there I was, because when I was not like really into doing things that please you, like I was doing okay, and here I am. You're not really showing me that you're working, you know. I held on to God, and I held on like my life depended on it. Really, my life did depend on it, so I just held on. Yeah, so the second thing that I wanted just to say is that do something while you're waiting, you know. Okay, actually, before I say do something, is first be still. I say be still because a lot of times when things are not going our way, we start grabbing onto everything, and we start just like not really thinking through our decisions. Specifically for me, when I was doing my job search, like I just started sending like random applications, emailing everyone, like just doing random interviews. At some point I was just like, nah, I can't do this anymore. I can't. I had like moments of epiphany even within that whole journey. I remember at some point when I was interviewing for Princeton in Latin America, to go to Latin America, and I had done maybe like 4 different interviews with different companies in like Argentina, Chile, I believe Mexico, I can't remember the other one, but my final interview was supposed to be with a company that was in the Dominican Republic. And that morning, maybe like 2 hours before the interview, I was just walking to school, and I had like this light bulb moment. Personally, I believe in things aligning in life, and by things aligning, I believe they don't just align by chance. It's because God situates them to do that. And I was just asking myself, why do I keep knocking on this door to go to Latin America, and they open the door, they see, oh, it's Itago, they close the door. They open, oh, it's still her, they close the door. Like, why do I keep knocking on this door, and maybe I'm not even supposed to be going there? And I just emailed the guys in Dominican Republic. I was like, I'm sorry, I'm not gonna do this interview. I have other career prospects that I'm going to be pursuing, which I had nothing going on for me at that point. But I had to more or less like withdraw myself from that whole situation and think through what kind of experiences I was putting myself into, or what I was trying to get myself into, at least for the next phase of my life. Yeah, so I had to learn how to be still, and in my stillness, I got to think a lot. Like, I thought so much. Even when I came to Texas, I started thinking through a lot of the things I was doing. I started thinking about what I wanted for my life, what I wanted for a position, I thought so much. My journal, I've had it for like I think 3 years now, It has never been full. It got full this time just because I was writing so much. In that stillness also, you have to separate yourself.